Ta-dam! Just a little bit of information on fasting. Our bodies sometimes need a break from digestion, in the same way that you need a break from your life. I've heard people say, hey, I just need a vacation from my own life. And sometimes our bodies need that too. They just need a break of just digesting food. So sometimes you go on a fast. You know, whether you do it for just, even the intermittent fasting today is actually a great way to start, by the way. If you have never really tried fasting, try fasting intermittently. You know, whether you skip your breakfast meal or you skip your evening meal, try that. Try that you can get somewhere in that 12 to 16 hours worth of time that you're not eating any food. It's a great way to start fasting, is to just try the intermittent fasting. It's really a great way to do it. But let's say you want to continue that and you want to do it for, you know, a day or 2 days or a week or however you want to do it. And there's all kinds of ways to do it. And I'm not going to describe to you how to do the fast, but I want to give you a personal experience as to why maybe you want to consider doing a fast. So this is maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago now. I don't remember. But it was a while ago. And I have a very strong will. So when I set my mind to something, I can, not usually, I generally see it through. I vacillate before I make up my mind. I can do a lot of vacillating. God knows I can. But once my mind is set, my will's pretty strong that I can kind of see it through. So I said to myself, you know, 1 week. I'm going to go 1 week without eating food. So I go on, you know, day 1, I'm like, oof, I'm kind of hungry. And then day 2 goes, day 3. And anyway, I get to about day 4. And it's manageable. I'm hungry, but in a different kind of a way. You know, your energy starts to get a little low when you're not eating food, as you can well imagine. And I remember it's day 5. And I'm going to go to day 7, right? I'm doing it for a full week. And again, my strong will, I'm like, no, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to, you know, just do it. And then somewhere in the evening of day 5, I just had this feeling like, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm done. Now, normally I wouldn't allow myself to take off those 2 extra days. I'd be like, nope, I said 7, it's going to be 7. But I did. So I remember leaving work, and this was late. It was like 7:30, something like that. And I'm leaving work, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to break the fast. Yeah, definitely. And when you break a fast, you want to do it easily. You want to do it with a mono fruit or something like that. But I didn't have that with me because I had just made the decision as I was driving home. And all of a sudden, I'm going by a Japanese restaurant. And actually, it was a Chinese restaurant. Yeah, it was a Chinese restaurant. I'm driving by a Chinese restaurant. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I was craving wonton soup. I don't even like wonton soup, but I was craving wonton soup. So anyway, so I pull in and I go inside and I order just a bowl of wonton soup. I get it to go. So I get it after a few minutes and I'm sitting in the car. And I don't know why, but the temperature of that soup, or I find like the soups that you get in a Chinese restaurant, it's like the temperature of the sun. It's ridiculous. It's so hot. You can't drink it, right? It's like, it's so scalding. So I remember bringing it up to my mouth. And of course, you know, you see all the steam coming up. And I just touched it with the tip of my tongue because I know it's hot. I can feel that it's hot. I touched it with the tip of my tongue and I'm like, oof, that's hot. And I'm like, oh, I can't drink that yet. But it was in that instance, just that one little drop that hit my tongue, I immediately, from that one little drop, and I mean this from a physical sensation, I could feel the nourishment from that one little tiny little drop. I could feel it running through my body. And to this moment, even as I'm describing it to you, I can taste every nuance of what was in that drop. I can just taste it. I can still taste it. And it was an amazing experience for me. It was the first time in my life that I've ever been thankful for food. And don't get me wrong, I've said grace at Thanksgiving, I've said grace before meals, but I mean truly thankful. It was a visceral, emotional experience. And it nearly brought me to tears. That's how grateful I was for that one little tiny drop of nourishment, because I could feel it fueling me. And I could be ever so grateful for what it was doing for me. Just that one little tiny drop. So what does fasting do? Fasting creates a void. The larger the void, the less it takes for that void to have something in it. So if you think about your life, if you've been void of friendship, if you've been void of love, if you've been void of health, if you've been void of finances, whatever it is that you've been void of, please understand and please start to recognize that the tiniest little smile from somebody walking down the street, if you don't have any friends, can fill that void. But you need to pay attention to it. That tiniest little bit of love that you haven't received, you can get that from somebody saying something kind to you. You just need to pay attention to it. So fasting, very good for your body. Fasting as far as maybe sometimes removing yourself from social society, which is what a lot of people are having to do right now with social distancing, but it's being done and being imposed upon you. I'm talking about doing something consciously. I'm talking about removing yourself from food. And if you feel like your relationships aren't working for you, your job isn't working for you, maybe it's time to pull yourself from that purposefully, create a void, and then the experience will happen that void will be filled. And it's a wonderful thing to do. And again, yogis look at things not just from a pure physical point of view, because everything is so much more than just physical. Though I think we can all agree that we have a body. We have a body, and this body we see, we hear, we taste, we smell, we touch. We understand our world through our body. And it is through what yogis call the intuition that you start to understand how all of those sensations come together to create an elevated you. How you can, in the darkest part of your life, look and find joy, and find happiness, and find peace. Yogi Bhajan said, "In every darkness there is a light, and in every light there is a darkness." And I think that's probably best exemplified if you think of the symbol of yin-yang, where you see that circle and you see the little swishy things, kind of looks like a Nike sign, and then two circles inside of it. So a white swish with a black dot and a black swish with a white dot. In every darkness there's a light. Try fasting. You can reach out to me if you're looking for an actual program, and I can tie you into somebody who is an expert at it. I can give you great general advice, but if you're looking for experts, let me know, and I'll find somebody that can help guide you through a fast. But I also want you to think of a fast as a void that is ready and waiting to be filled, because the universe does not like voids. The universe wants to fill voids. And again, whether that's with food or your relationship, create that void so the universe can fill it for you. As always, I wish you well. Sat Nam.